I'm Neil Brooke, Chairman of the UE Board of Trustees, and I'm very excited to be here to extend a welcome on behalf of the Board of Trustees to members of the administration, faculty, staff, and students, honored guests, alumni, and family to the beautiful campus of the University of Evansville and the inauguration of Dr. Thomas A. Kazee as its 23rd president. As chair of the University of Evansville Board of Trustees, I have a certain predisposition to like him. We hired him. But from his first day on campus, he has proven time and again that we made the right decision. His academic credentials are impeccable. He served as chair of the Political Science Department at Davidson University, academic dean at the University of the South, and chief academic officer at Furman University, facing similar challenges that we face at the University of Evansville, breathing new life into the curriculum, striving for academic excellence in a fiscally responsible way, and helping to shape lives through the power of the liberal arts and sciences. And as a former faculty representative for athletics, he understands the delicate balance between academics and athletics at an institution like the University of Evansville. But the intangibles that Dr. Kazee brought to the table helped him stand out as an ideal match for the University of Evansville. UE is a small community. You'll often hear people here talk about the UE family, which makes it important to have a president who is personable and approachable. Dr. Kazee is both of these things. He is also forward-thinking, whether he's talking about academics, about facilities, or about using technology to communicate and promote the university. Dr. Kazee isn't afraid to take risks, and he wants to be on the cutting edge, which is tremendously important when you're trying to shape young citizens who will live and work in a world that is ever smaller and changing faster than ever. And he's a reasoned, thoughtful person. I think anyone who has sat in a meeting with Dr. Kazee in his first few months here would agree that while he never dominates a meeting, he wants to hear from everyone at the table. He is always in control, and as he takes the input given, considers it all, then makes a considered, informed decision. These are traits we want in the president helming the University of Evansville. Someone who will be thoughtful, but isn't afraid to take risks. Someone who utilizes the knowledge and talents of the administrative team, but isn't afraid to take charge and take responsibility for decisions made. Someone who will face the future of the university unafraid. I'm proud to say that Dr. Thomas Kazee is that person, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I couldn't be more pleased to welcome him as the 23rd president of the University of Evansville. We will now hear from a series of speakers, each representing groups who wish to welcome the new president to the family that is the University of Evansville.
Good morning. My name is Richard Ludwick, and I'm a 1986 alumnus of the University of Evansville. I'm also the president and CEO of the Independent Colleges of Indiana. That's an association that is the collective voice of Indiana's 31 not-for-profit independent colleges and universities. I want to thank Dan Miller and the steering committee for inviting me here today, and it is my honor to represent those institutions, and it is also a particular privilege to welcome Dr. Thomas A. Kazee to the remarkable ranks of some of this nation's premier educational leaders, and those are the leaders of Indiana's independent colleges and universities. The impact that our collective community has on the state, our home communities, and the individual students that we touch is significant. With an annual economic impact of nearly $4 billion, with 90,000 students, and with a graduation rate more than twice that of any other sector in Indiana's higher education, our reach is truly remarkable. The story of the University of Evansville is one that I know well as an alumnus, but also as a student of higher education. It is shared in some ways by many of the institutions here in Indiana. From its humble beginnings as Moores Hill College in 1854 in southeastern Indiana, the institution has enjoyed a mission that is primarily focused on educating young men and women in the classical and scientific arts. By the turn of the last century, however, that mission had expanded to include education, business, and back then, even agriculture. That mission continues today. The value that families at that time and continuing today see in such an education is self-evident. They are willing to invest significant sums to pursue an education that the University of Evansville offers. Back in 1859, that sum even reached to the lofty heights of $32. Since that time, though, we have embraced new challenges, and those challenges lead us into a global world, one where the challenge of global citizenship is ever present. We, however, have kept close our ties, especially to the city that adopted us and to the church that helped nurtured us. The values and ideals that were originally those of Moores Hill College have been passed on to Evansville College and thrive today as the University of Evansville. With the challenges of the global marketplace and the world before us, those ideals are even more important today than they have been in the past. Evansville is one of many independent institutions that has stepped forward to offer higher education and its promise to students that might not otherwise be able to reach it. With the world today being one of challenges, we provide an opportunity that gives people of diverse faiths or no faith at all the chance to come to the same table. We experience the energy of divergent ideologies in the same place, and we also have the responsibility of living in a world with finite resources. I am heartened by the fact that Dr. Kazee comes to us with over 35 years of proven leadership in higher education. He will take the challenges and opportunities that come before us and advance my alma mater. So, Tom, it is indeed my pleasure on behalf of your colleagues of the independent colleges of Indiana to welcome you to their ranks. We're excited to work alongside you, and we thank you for joining in our collective cause. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Debbie Metcalf, and this is my husband, Jim. Together, we co-chair the University of Evansville's Parents' Council. We are extremely honored and yet humbled to be part of the inauguration of Dr. Kazee, representing the parents of the current University of Evansville students and as alumni and representing our family of 3 generations of proud Evansville graduates.
For 6 years now, the University of Evansville has been a central part of our family's lives. Our daughter Mallory came to the University of Evansville in the fall of 2004 as a mass communications major. She graduated in 2008. In 2007, our youngest daughter Kimberly came to the university also as a major of communications. We're proud to say that Kim has just started her senior year here, and this May will be part of the first graduating class at the University of Evansville from President Kazee. The experience our daughters have had here at the University of Evansville truly have been life-transforming. From the internships and experiential learning opportunities that have prepared them to engage the world as informed, ethical, and productive citizens, to the enrichment provided by the university community. Mallory, our oldest, enjoyed the university and learned so much here. She continued and stayed at the university as an employee for a year and a half following her graduation. The University of Evansville has been extremely good to our family, and it's very important to us that it maintain its status as one of the Midwest's best colleges for young men and women who will follow our daughters here. That's why we were delighted by the selection of Dr. Kazee as the university's 23rd president. In his response to questions presented to him from the Parents' Council, President Kazee responded about how and why he decided on the University of Evansville. His response, much in the same way as our daughters decided and your students decided why they came to the University of Evansville. It's the university family, the students, the faculty, and staff. They're all engaged to provide a friendly, comfortable environment for success. The community of Evansville supports the university. They support themselves from top to bottom and provides the opportunity to expand the horizons of our students. Since his arrival on campus, Dr. Kazee has been an extremely visible presence to the university community. From his introductory videos to his monthly podcasts on the internet, he has made it very clear his intention to communicate openly and frequently with the students, alumni, and parents about what is happening at the university, both in the present and how he sees it in the future. He has made it clear that the lines of communication will always be open and that he is not only willing to listen to others, but he wants to hear from us.
So in closing, that's why we are excited to work with Dr. Kazee as co-chairs of the University of Evansville's Parents' Council. We are excited for the continued growth in education, community, and family at Evansville that we can always come back to and connect with the university. And it's why, on behalf of all the parents of University of Evansville's 2,400 undergraduate students, that we are pleased to welcome Dr. Kazee to the University of Evansville.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Holly Collier Marks. I'm a graduate of the class of 1996 and proud to serve as the president of the Alumni Association Board of Directors. I'm honored to be here today on behalf of UE's over 27,000 alumni to officially welcome Dr. Thomas A. Kazee to the University of Evansville. I can honestly say that my UE experience here was a life-transforming one. My experience provided me with precious friendships, knowledge, maturity, and confidence. The strength of the University of Evansville is its curriculum, grounded in the liberal arts that prepares its students to enter this world with ideas and ideals, ethics, and abilities that can in turn transform communities and perhaps even our world. From our perspective as alumni, today's theme of shaping global citizens, connecting liberal arts and professional education is so very appropriate. Among the 27,000 alumni are nurses, teachers, engineers, business leaders, and other professionals who are set apart because of the breadth of vision of their place in the world gained from their rigorous study in the liberal arts. And for us as alumni, we see a world where global is not just a buzzword, it is a way of life. Whether it's a UE alumnus going to Oslo to discuss construction management practices in the U.S., or another UE alumni working in the State Department with nation-building efforts, a UE education opens doors to the world. Perhaps this isn't too surprising in a small campus where students have the chance to study alongside classmates from more than 50 countries and where more than 55% take advantage of the opportunity to study abroad during their time at UE. For me, it was having exposures to students from other nations living on the same floor in Hughes Hall, and most recently a remarkable trip to Harlexton with newfound friends. Dr. Kazee has incorporated all these elements into his inaugural theme, showing that he is committed to these values held dear by so many UE alums, even as he looks to take the university and its programs to the next level. As the Thomas Kazee era begins, I'm excited by the possibilities open to the university and the alumni look forward to working with Dr. Kazee to build on the successes we've seen at our university.